the Undertale official tier list. And up first, we have Frisk. Frisk is the playable character, main protagonist, and the 8th human in Undertale. After falling into the underground, they venture to return to the surface. Whether neutrally, genocidally, or peacefully, the latter case, the true pacifist route, is the only one where Frisk's name is revealed, emphasizing they are not the fallen human that is named by the player. Frisk has literally no personality, not gonna lie, I don't care about him. The chat has spoken. 50% say that B. I am in total agreement. Now, let's go with Charara. I'm thinking this is a higher rating. Charara, also known as the Fallen Human, is the first human to fall into the underground. Charara is their true name on the naming screen, though their name typically varies on what the player enters. They are distinct from the 8th fallen human, who is the protagonist of Undertale. As a main character, Charara's primary role is described through the Dreamer's backstories. Charara also appears at the end of the genocide route. Okay, so what are you guys thinking? I think we gotta go bottom A. Low A. I think that's totally fair. Let's go Flowey. This encompasses all of Flowey's personalities. That includes Omega Flowey. This includes every potential piece of Flowey, and I think that actually does matter. Flowey is the first major character that the protagonist encounters in Undertale. Flowey serves as the main antagonist for the neutral and true pacifist routes, and could be considered the dudagonist within the genocide route. He introduces the player to the mechanics of encounters by sharing friendliness pellets, which are actually harmful bullets, revealing his philosophy of kill or be killed. He serves as the final boss of the neutral route. Y'all are crazy for putting him in C. 33% of people putting him in C. I don't agree with that at all. Because of how split it is, I think S is a little rich. Top of A tier to kind of encompass everybody's opinion and also my own. Under Frit? No, I don't believe that to be true. High mid tier. All right, Toriel. This one's a juicy one. Toriel is the second major character the protagonist meets in Undertale. She saves the protagonist from Flowey and guides them through the ruins, wishing to protect and to teach them to avoid the dangers of the underground. Toriel is the former queen of the monsters, the ex-wife of Asgore, the mother of Asriel, the adoptive mother of the first human, and the first boss, as she guards the ruins exit. Is Toriel S? I think top of A tier, bottom of S tier is a reasonable placement. A tier is still really good. Sans is way too overrated. Really? I think he's overrated, but I still wouldn't put him below like an A. Sans is the older brother of Papyrus and the main character of Undertale. He first appears in Stone Forest after the protagonist exits the ruins. Sans is the deuteragonist of the neutral and true pacifist routes, in which he keeps an eye on the protagonist throughout the game. He is also the final boss of the Geno route in Last Corridor from New Home. Under Toriel, well written, good comedy. He's got some really good moments in here. You don't get to speak on Sans and you didn't do genocide. That's okay. I think Sans can go under Flowey because I think Omega Flowey is actually quite interesting as a character. A little bit more interesting than I found Sans as a character. If Sans is the lowest of A, I have to move Charara down to B. And I think that's the only fair way to assess the characters like this. Papyrus, I'm actually not even going to, I'm not going to change anything. It has to be Papyrus S. Papyrus's song just started too. That's crazy. I love Papyrus. He's my favorite character in the entire game. He is so well written. His comedy is on point. Papyrus is Sans' younger brother, a major character and the second boss in Undertale. Papyrus wants to become a royal guard to gain fame and friends. He patrols and prepares many of Snowden Forest puzzles in hopes of capturing a human and earning his goal. We just did a video about this too, if anybody wants to watch it. We talked about if Papyrus deserved to be in the Royal Guard, and I truly believe he is one of the only people that entirely deserves it. We've got Undyne. Undyne is menacing. Undyne's kind of fire. I just think from a psychological standpoint, Flowey is the most interesting character since he's the antithesis of the main theme of the game, which gets resolved with Azrael. Without this villain, the game would completely fall apart. Definitely one of the most interesting psychological wise. I don't think Undyne is nearly as good as Flowey. You're talking me into going top A with Flowey. You're talking me into it. I think we switch. Honestly, Juice does make a good point. The story kind of falls apart without Flowey. Undyne does a really great theming, and a lot is told without speaking. Like, the amount of pressure they put on you. Undyne is a major character and the third boss in Undertale. Undyne leads the Royal Guard, which protects Asgore and patrols the underground to find humans. She pursues the protagonist through Waterfall, though she is inadvertently thwarted by Monster Kid. You guys okay with this placement of Undyne? I think Sans is the better character. 0 people voted S. I'm not even gonna pull this one either. Alfie's goes in the trash tier. Alfie's goes directly into the trash tier. Alfie's is a female reptilian monster that lives in the lab in Western Hotland. She is the incumbent royal scientist, a position she was awarded by Asgore after the disappearance of her predecessor. She is a major character in Undertale and the only one not to fight the protagonist. Mettaton, another one that I don't even think we need to poll. Mettaton is clearly an S tier character. Mettaton is a major character and the 4th boss in Undertale. Mettaton is a robot with a soul whose body was built by Alfie's. He is the sole television star of the underground. Mettaton poses as an entertainment robot turned human killing robot in Hotlands, though he later reveals the truth to the protagonist at the end of the core. Mettaton is worse than Alfie's. I hate him. What? No. Mettaton is S. Actually, if Mettaton is S, then Flowey has to be S. Flowey does more for the story than Mettaton does. Does that mean Mettaton goes top of A? I don't believe that Mettaton is the worst. He's really dynamic. The cooking show? Come on now. Did you know that Mettaton's song is a reference to Final Fantasy VI? In fact, falling into a bed of roses at the start of the game is a reference to Final Fantasy VII? Oh my god, you're not wrong. I never thought of that. Is that totally true? Asgore, I think, is one that needs to be S. Toby Fox was a Final Fantasy enjoyer. I did not know that. Asgore is fire. Asgore Dreamer is the king of the underground and its denizen monsters. He serves as the secondary antagonist of Undertale, planning to kill 7 humans and their souls to break the barrier that traps everyone underground. However, he is not evil or malicious. Asgore is the ex-husband of Toriel, father of Azrael, adoptive father of the first human, and the penultimate boss of the neutral route, right below Flowey. I don't want to crowd S tier with too many characters. I don't think he does as much for the story as Flowey does. Here's a heavy hitter. Azrael, big man Azzy Dreamer, is the biological child of Toriel and Asgore, the adoptive brother of the first human, and the former prince of monsters. He serves as the final boss of the true pacifist route, replacing Asgore in New Home. Despite his late introduction, his presence as Flowey as well as in Undertale's backstory makes him a major character. If anything, I'm moving Undyne down to B. I think Sans stays A. Him and Flowey are the same character. Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, now we're going into kind of like the mid-range characters, like the kind of nothings of the world. We're going to Napstable. Napstablook. High A? Napstablook? Okay. Y'all are trolling now. Napstablook is the first mini-boss in Undertale. In the ruins, Napstablook fiends sleep near the mouse hole save point and the spider bake sale. However, they block the pathway, thus the protagonist forces an encounter. If the ruins kill encounter has been exhausted before encountering Napstablook, the fight is skipped. As they disappear from the pathway upon entering the room, they sleep. Oh, I actually did not know that part. Tripping balls with Napstablook is kind of cool. I'm thinking they're more like bottom B though, like at the very best. If I pull this, you better not go S. You better do the right thing here. Napstablook is A or S. What means do you have for them being A or S? He contributes so little to the story. Most of these characters at the bottom don't really contribute anything of importance. Y'all are insane. 40% of you think S. I overrule you. Bottom B. Mad Dummy. This is a C tier character at the very best. Mad Dummy is the 7th mini-boss in the neutral and pacifist routes. The protagonist can find them idling at the end of Waterfall's garbage dump. I love this track, actually. Once bypassed, the Mad Dummy becomes enraged. They begin an encounter to seek revenge for the dummy in the ruins. Okay, this is C. I think we can all agree on that. Monster Kid is cringe, okay? Monster Kid is extremely cringe. Every dialogue box they have is cringe. They take a stab for us. They pop like a balloon, bro. That's top C tier. He's more important than the dummy. Monster Kid is a young monster and major character in Waterfall who stops at nothing to see their idol Undyne in action. Dialogue doesn't take away from their feats, and that they contribute way more than dummy. Muffet. I actually kind of like Muffet, to be fair. They're hinted at very early on. I think Muffet goes above Napstablook. I think that's a perfect placement for Muffet. I think B is a respectable spot. Muffet's attacks are themed on spiders, baked goods, and her pet. The battle takes place mostly in purple mode. Muffet may be spared by waiting or consuming a spider item, which may be bought at the ruins. She does not fight if an item was bought at the bake sale in Hotland, and if the protagonist is on the neutral or pacifist route. Muffet is below Sans. There's no way you guys are saying that Muffet deserves to be above Undyne. No, I don't believe that. And I don't even think they're as important as a silent protagonist. I think the actions of Charara and Frisk are much more important. Yeah, no. I overrule on that. Temmie, wasn't that the name of the artist that made most of these characters? Okay, Temmie is a species of monster in the underground. They appear as a unique enemy in Waterfall, residents of Temmie Village, and the vendor of Tem Shop. Bro, the Tem Shop was clutch. For the lore, W.D. Gaster is actually somebody that I didn't even know about until looking him up. Oh, this one's a fire track. I hope everybody's enjoying this. I wanted to get you guys involved and have some fun. Gaster top of C tier. Okay, let me read off the description before everybody makes judgments. W.D. Gaster was the royal scientist before Alfie's and was stated to have irreplaceable brilliance. Gaster's followers imply that he created the core. It has disappeared. During normal gameplay, W.D. Gaster is typically unmentioned. Despite this, River Person, rare fun values, events, and certain inaccessible rooms hint at his existence. This includes room 264 named Room Gaster. I think the lore is kind of interesting behind this character. Gaster A, but under Toriel? Gaster A? It's an unmentioned character in the game, pretty much. I think the lore placed them right below the main character. You know what? This guy's coming. He came in real clutch. We'll do this. How about that? Burger Pants came in clutch. Yeah. He belongs in C. Burger Pants is an employee at the MTT Brand Burger Emporium, a fast food restaurant located inside the MTT resorts. He is the last vendor in the game and sells the most expensive and potent healing items. He's goated. He's the only reason I beat Asgore. Sans needs to be moved to B. The only place that I'm willing to move Sans is under Undyne. I have a hard time believing that's the true placement of where he would be. Because he made you trip balls, maybe I can put him at the top of B. Thank you everybody for being a part of this tier list. I really appreciate it. I enjoy doing little things like this. It really makes me feel a lot more connected to the community.